Hey YouTube, Bob here. I'm going to do something a little bit different that I'm calling my 2013 Year in Review. And it's based on the monthly pickup videos that I've seen a lot of members of the YouTube gaming community create. And the reason I haven't done so is I really don't add pieces to my collection frequently enough to make a video on a monthly basis. So instead what I thought I'd do, I'd make a video that shows what I've gotten throughout the entire year, and I'm going to show it in categories: consoles, accessories, games, guides, and just stuff. So here we go. This is what I got in 2013. So the first console I got was a replacement Nintendo Entertainment System, because the one that I had had since about 2005 or 2006, something went wrong with the video signal. It was very fuzzy. So I gave the system to my friend who's an electronic engineer, and he couldn't figure out what was wrong with it. So I finally broke down and got a new one. And so far, this one's been working great. No problem with the video signal, and the games load up first try. No flashing red light. The next console I actually did an unboxing video for was the Wii Mini. And this is the one that I imported from Canada because it was a Canadian exclusive for the longest time. Then it was released to various territories in Europe. And finally, somewhere around September, October, November, it made its way to the United States with a pack-in game. And this console, it's notorious for how seemingly useless it is, which, yeah, I think it is too. But the reason that I got this one is because the one that I imported from Canada, when I went to go register the serial number on Club Nintendo for coins, well, guess what? Somebody had already registered the number. So this one I will actually get some coins out of, and this is the US version with the pack-in game of Mario Kart Wii. So this is the Wii Mini. Next console, just recently did an unboxing video for, is the Japanese Wii U. This is the white premium set. And one of the things I was looking forward to with this console is using the white gamepad as my go-to gamepad so that I didn't have to deal with all the fingerprints, but no such luck there. Unfortunately, it's region locked and I'll only be able to use it with this console. The next console is not new. I've had a Sega Genesis for the longest time, but my friend who's the electronic engineer, he was able to mod it for me. So now on the back here we've got audio out for left and right channel, and there's also an S-video output to get very clear definition on a standard CRT TV, which is fantastic. This has a great video signal. The games look awesome. Another console that I got is the TurboGrafx 16 in box. This is a console that I never had as a kid, but I loved blazing lasers. I even like Keith Courage, and watching videos from other YouTubers, I found other games that are excellent, like Ninja Spirit and the Legendary Axe. And kind of in tandem with the TurboGrafx 16 is another related console, which is the Turbo Express. The Turbo Express Portable is basically the handheld version of the TurboGrafx 16. It plays the exact same games as the TurboGrafx 16 on a very high-res color screen. It was very expensive for the time, and it took a lot of batteries, but it's neat to have now as kind of a retro oddity. Speaking of a retro oddity, another console that I got this year was an Atari Heavy Sixer. This is one of the first editions of the Atari 2600. It's quite heavy, and it has 6 switches on it. Later it was reissued with only 4 switches. So this is the Atari 2600. And the last 2 consoles that I got this year were handhelds. I did an unboxing video of the Nintendo 2DS. You've seen that. And I also picked up, I just couldn't resist, the Legend of Zelda Link Between Worlds 3DS XL, because it just looks phenomenal. I already have the game. I bought it as standalone. Haven't yet opened this. We'll see if and when it becomes necessary for me to do so, but I do enjoy having this piece in the collection. For whatever reason, I overlooked the Legend of Zelda edition of the original 3DS. It didn't strike me as appealing as this one does. This one I think is fantastic, so I'm happy to have that in the collection. So there you have it. Those are all the consoles that I picked up in 2013. On to games. So this first game here, Demon's Sword for the Nintendo Entertainment System, is one that I originally got for my birthday. One of my friends got it for me, and I can remember all my other friends were amazed to see an NES game given as a gift, because they were usually considered to be too expensive to give as gifts. But this game actually is a lot of fun. They really changed the box art from the original Japanese version, because in this game you're actually a ninja, and you run through forests and caves, and there is quite an Asian feel to the game, and I really did enjoy it as a kid. This is one of the few games that I actually beat when I was younger, so I'm glad to have Demon's Sword back in the collection. So moving chronologically through time, we're going to see some Genesis games here. I picked up Earthworm Jim, which is usually noted as being better than on the Super NES. Streets of Rage 3, which is amazing. The music is awesome and the gameplay is fantastic. It is a very difficult game, but I enjoy Streets of Rage 3. And the last game is called Wonder Boy in Monster World. I really enjoy the cartoony graphics, and it's a lot of fun. It's kind of a side-scroller role-playing game. It's a hybrid type of game. Moving on to the TurboGrafx 16. I did pick up quite a few games with the TurboGrafx 16. Got Ninja Spirit, Newtopia, which is a role-playing game, Legendary Axe 2, Legendary Axe, Keith Courage, which was the pack-in game, Dragon Spirit, which is a shoot-'em-up, Bonk's Revenge and Bonk's Adventure, which were NEC's answer to Mario and Sonic, their little mascot, and Blazing Lasers, which is another phenomenal shoot-'em-up for the system. Keep going forward through time here, some Super NES titles. Got Ken Griffey Jr.'s Winning Run. I got this game because the music's phenomenal and because it is a first-party Nintendo title. And then I finally got Super Mario All-Stars and Super Mario World. I found this reproduction box. This game never had proper retail packaging because Super Mario All-Stars and Super Mario World together in one cartridge were only included with a version of the Super NES. So somebody made this box. They're selling them on eBay now for about $15, which is a really good deal. And I managed to find a cartridge and all the inserts in good enough condition here to piece together a nice set. The cartridge is over on my shelf, but I got other inserts that would have originally been included with the game if it were ever released in standalone. So I got the Consumer Precautions booklet, the instruction manual, which is huge, and then the poster that would have been given away with games at the time. So moving along, forward through time, got a Sega CD game. Final Fight CD, which is one of the best home versions of Final Fight, which is a brawler. This particular game actually came in a cardboard box, and I don't like cardboard box packaging. So went on eBay, bought a very cheap but sealed, I think it was a Sega Saturn game, because they use these cases. Harvested it for the case, actually scanned the rear box art and made an insert for it, and then just put the booklet in the front. So I've got my own custom case for Final Fight CD. The next game is for the 64DD. This is the sequel to Doshin the Giant. This is the rarest, if not the second rarest game on the 64DD. The only other one that's just about as rare is a golf game, and I'm still holding out to find a copy of that game that's in acceptable condition. But I am very happy to have this piece in my collection. Another import is a Game Boy Color game. This is Donkey Kong Country. I always thought it was Donkey Kong Country 2, but to be honest, I didn't get too much into the sequels of Donkey Kong Country. I always enjoyed the original. But what they did here in the United States is reissue the original Donkey Kong Country on Game Boy Color, but we never got any of these sequels. But this sequel was released in Japan. So this I have for the Game Boy Color. Now moving on to more recent titles. This is Okami HD for the PS3. This is the Japanese version that did come with the snow globe. I did a video showcasing my Okami collection, and all those items were mentioned. So this is PS3 HD version. Moving on now to recent Nintendo titles, we'll do 3DS. Games that I picked up this year were Animal Crossing New Leaf. Finally, a new Animal Crossing game that lives up to the hype. The one on Wii was basically a rehash of the one that was on the DS, and it was like a repeat. This one has so much new content and is a lot more fun to play. Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D. Phenomenal. Not too much more that you can say about that. Fire Emblem Awakening. I'm not too much of an RPG guy, save for Final Fantasy III and Chrono Trigger and Secret of Mana on the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. I got this game because I thought it was going to be rare, but apparently they brought it out to retail. So I do have this. I got some coins for it, but it's really not my style of game. This is my style of game. Oh my gosh, Legend of Zelda: Link Between Worlds. Playing a new 2D Zelda game has reminded me how much of a Link to the Past guy I am versus Ocarina of Time. A lot of people say, as far as Zelda fans go, there's Ocarina of Time people and there's Link to the Past people. I am truly a Link to the Past fan. Don't get me wrong, Ocarina of Time and the 3D Zeldas are great games, but having a new game like this, I really hope they continue on in this vein for a while. Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, a lot of fun. Expands considerably upon the first game for the GameCube, and the graphics are incredible, especially in 3D on the 3DS. Mario and Luigi Dream Team, RPG, featuring Mario and Luigi. And then Mario Party Island Tour, which didn't get very good reviews, and to be honest with you, I prefer Mario Party games on consoles, not on handhelds. But I played it for a little while, and the nice thing about it is it has download play, which means you don't need 2 cartridges to play multiplayer. So that's nice. Moving along, keeping with new games. Wii U. Got Super Mario 3D World, which is phenomenal. As much as I just sung the praises of 2D Zelda, this 3D Mario game I think is much better than new Super Mario Bros. U. I tend to prefer 2D Mario games over 3D, but this game is phenomenal. It's just as good, if not better, than the Galaxy games on the Wii. Game & Wario, micro games, a lot of fun with friends, great multiplayer. Same can be said for Wii Party U, but not as fast and frantic and fun. It's basically Mario Party, which is probably why they made the newest Mario Party on the 3DS and not on the Wii U, because this game is very similar. Something that's interesting about this game is it comes in a box, and what they give you is a little stand for your gamepad, because on some of the games they want it so that your gamepad sits flat, so there's no incline to it. So you do get a little stand for it. Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD. It's amazing how well this game has held up over time. The graphics in HD, it might as well have been of this generation. And the new gameplay with the gamepad and the tingle bottles on Miiverse, it's phenomenal. New Super Luigi U. This game I got, I'm not too into the challenges that this game offers. I really got it because I thought it was going to be rare. I thought they were only going to have a very limited retail release and then just have it be electronic downloads. But this game has been available since it was released earlier this year. But one of the things I do like about it is the green case. How can you go wrong with the green Luigi case? So it is still sealed. I'll probably get to it eventually, but it's on the back burner for now. Next game, Scribblenauts Unlimited. I did not get this game. I actually got it for Christmas just a couple days ago, and I'm happy to have this game because it is one, if it were 5 years ago, I probably would have bought this. But now that I'm trying to pare down my collecting and limit it only to first-party Nintendo titles, I didn't pick it up on my own. But so, I'm glad to have this as part of the collection. And the last one is Pikmin 3. This is the best Pikmin game, hands down. The gamepad controls really make you feel like you're immersed in the Pikmin world. It is a lot of fun to play. The only downfall that a lot of people have been mentioning is there just isn't enough of it. The game ends way too soon. So hopefully with the downloadable content, they'll keep it going on the Nintendo Network. Well, they say that player's guides are becoming less and less necessary because of the internet, and that's probably true, but I still enjoy collecting them for Nintendo games. So we'll take a look at the ones that I got for Wii U this year, starting off with Pikmin 3, Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker HD, Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker HD Collector's Edition. Even though this was included in the Prima box set, since I do have all the other guides sealed separately, I wanted to have this one sealed as well. Plus, just like all the other ones, this one includes maps, a cloth map that is not included with the box set version. And then we've got here Super Mario 3D World. This is the Collector's Edition, hardcover, and it actually comes with a calendar. And to this day, it's December 2013. This game was released in November, I believe. I don't think there's a standard softcover version of this player's guide. I've looked, I've asked, haven't found anything. So if you know otherwise, let me know in the comments. Because, of course, if there is a standard version, I'd like to have that as well. Moving on to 3DS, we've got Animal Crossing New Leaf, which is an interesting size. I believe this is typically the size of guides in Japan. So they just kept it uniform there, along with the guide for Mario and Luigi Dream Team. It's got that same form factor. Got Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D, Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds. This is the standard guide. Again, not included in the Prima box set is this. Is the hardcover edition of the Legend of Zelda: Link Between Worlds guide. And this particular edition comes with free mobile version, which does, the softcover comes with that as well, but it has a bonus framed lithograph, which is pretty darn cool. Something you're not going to find in the Prima Games box set, which is the next item that I have here. I did an unboxing video for this, in which I didn't unbox it at all. Instead, I went through and showed the guides that I already had. But this is the Prima box set of the Legend of Zelda guides. If you're interested in seeing my not-so-unboxing video, I will include the link to it in the video description of this video. The last two books I'm going to show here are not strategy guides per se, but they are Zelda related. Hyrule Historia. I did a review of this, which I will also include in the video description if you're interested in seeing that. This is the standard version. Comes in a nice green hardcover with some foil graphic designs. And then this version here is the collector's edition. It's got the same design here, but it's not green. It has gold foil pages on the edges. And it's kind of got a soft cover thing going on here. It's almost pillowy like. But I'm going to keep this one sealed because the contents are the same. It's the exact same book inside. It's just the exterior presentation is a little bit more elegant. So that's the Hyrule Historia Collector's Edition. Alright, we'll continue on with accessories here, and we'll go chronologically, starting with the Famicom. This is the Family Basic keyboard, which the Famicom actually did have a basic programming language to help you make rudimentary types of games. And in order to improve the input, there is a keyboard. Going along with the Family Basic line of products, there was a data recorder, which is essentially an audio cassette deck. It does play audio cassettes, but it also records data. So for games like Excite Bike that didn't have a battery backup at the time, you would record your best times and other game data on audio cassettes. And that's what the data recorder was for. Another Famicom accessory was the 3D system, and this worked with games like Rad Racer that had a 3D effect to it. And I guess I haven't experienced it firsthand. I'm waiting to get my hands on the Famicom version of Rad Racer to see the difference between the 3D that this peripheral produces versus the paper red and blue glasses that our US version came with. I'm assuming it's going to be quite a bit improved over that experience, hopefully. The next batch of accessories are still for the Famicom, but they center around the Family Computer Robot, or Robotic Operating Buddy as we knew him here in the United States. So this is the Family Computer Robot itself. And then the entire library of 2 games that were compatible. This is Stack Up, or Robot Block as it was known in Japan. And then Gyromite, or Robot Gyro as it was known in Japan. So those are the 3 robot peripherals for the Famicom system. Moving along to more modern times with the 3DS here, or in this case the 2DS. This is the 2DS carrying case. And given that the screens are exposed on the 2DS, a carrying case is not a bad idea. And this is a pretty darn good looking carrying case, I think. Open it up here with the zipper. I bought the blue. This is also available in red to match the red 2DS. And the neat thing about this case is that it has a little protector here, and on the flip side there's space for 3 game packs. So it's a very nice case for the 2DS. Keeping along with the 3DS and 2DS line of products, this is the charger cradle for the 3DS XL. Not too long ago, Club Nintendo had available primary color editions of the charging cradle for the 3DS, 3DS XL that is. And from what I understand, they were all claimed in less than an hour. And the frustrating thing was, I was actually sick during that time and I couldn't fall asleep. It was the middle of the night on the night that, or the day that they were supposed to become available. So I was up at like 3 in the morning on the day they were supposed to become available. And I looked on the website and they hadn't yet been posted. Once I finally did fall asleep and wake up the next morning, I checked again and boom, they were all sold out. So I missed my chance to get one of the limited primary color editions of the 3DS XL charging cradle. However, the standard black one is always available for sale through the Nintendo Online store. And it's a very fair price. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, but it's less than $20. And it's nice to have the charging cradle for the 3DS XL. Another peripheral for the 3DS XL is the Circle Pad Pro, or the soap dish as it's come to be called. This is quite a bit bigger than the Circle Pad Pro for the original 3DS, as you'd think, but it's just as comfortable, it's just as contoured, and for games that require the second Circle Pad, it's a necessary accessory. Moving on to Wii U peripherals. I did a review for the Wii U Pro controller. I decided to go with the white one, even though I have the black console because of the whole fingerprint issue. But this is a phenomenal controller. I love the feel of it. As far as the placement of the buttons, I was a little disappointed once I started playing Mario 3D Land and New Super Mario Bros. U with it, because I felt that no matter where I put my thumbs on the buttons, the side of my thumbs was grazing another button. So I feel that it's a little cramped as far as the button spacing goes. If you were to compare it to the Wii U gamepad, you'll know there's a lot more space in between the buttons here. So I'm not so sure about that as far as the button placement goes. Another game where I really felt that was Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD. I always felt like I was, grazing other buttons as I was, maneuvering around the controller there. But overall, a very nice controller for more of the hardcore games. As far as Wii remotes go, I got the Aqua Blue Wii U remote. And of course, got the Mario and Luigi editions of the Wii U remote with Wii Motion Plus inside. Alright, the final segment here is just random stuff. And the first thing you're seeing here is a Donkey Kong shirt. I don't wear Nintendo clothing too much, but I couldn't resist a shirt that says it's on like Donkey Kong, so I had to pick that up. You may remember I went to the Nintendo World store back in the summer. I actually did a whole video about what I picked up there, so I'm not going to go through everything again in this video, but I will put a link to that video in the video description here if you're interested in seeing what I picked up at the Nintendo World store this summer. It's kind of a side item here. This is the Ganondorf figure that was included with the special edition version of The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD. And finally, in the vein of The Legend of Zelda, this is the Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask soundtrack that was the Club Nintendo Platinum reward, or one of two. The other was the 3-poster set. So there you have it. That's everything that I picked up in 2013. And here's hoping for a wonderful 2014, and hopefully Nintendo's going to be able to help their Wii U console take off a little bit here. In my opinion, as a Nintendo fan, of course, I think the Wii U right now has the best library of fun games to play if you're going to compare it to the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. But it's not going to be like that for long. Those systems are going to start to expand their library, and the Wii U's definitely going to be in for a fight. So hopefully Nintendo has some tricks up its sleeves. And with that in mind, I hope you have a wonderful 2014 with lots of games, and until next time, you guys take it easy.